Hey everyone, I'm back, your interesting host, Johlet. Have you ever thought about your voice and how it can actually be used as an instrument and be used to your advantage? I was listening to a podcast the other day with Vin Gyang, and firstly, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your surname, Vin, but he made me realize that I've been using my voice as a tool, as my instrument for the last 11 years while teaching as a Pilates instructor. And it made me realize also how often our voices can create harmony, stress and sadness and anger. It can trigger so many things, you guys. But isn't that incredible? Our voice. So he mentioned vocal foundations, that there's 5 essential elements of vocal expression. So they are rate, volume, melody, tonality, and pause. And he mentioned that in his music lessons with his teacher, she explained to him how, with like any instruments that you have to tune and play, how it can bring emotion and reaction out of people. You can get and do the same with your voice. And that's when it hit me, like while driving in the car, listening to this podcast, it hit me. Like only now, you guys, 11 years later, it hit me that that's exactly what I do while I teach. Because at the end of the day, what you say as an instructor is obviously important, but how you say it, now that's the deal or no deal factor. How you say and how you teach in your class can make or break you. It's the moment where your clients decide, I'm sticking with you as an instructor or I'm moving on. Because let's admit it, at the end of the day, trust me, I've heard this a million times from all my clients. You do not come to a class for the class itself. You go to a class for the teacher, for the trainer. And trust me, that's so true. And you know what a bummer it is when you lose a good trainer? It just ruins that whole workout for you. Like that whole exercise form is ruined for life. That's how you feel. It's like the end of the world for you. I'm very, very grateful to Bazzy because during our training, they drilled verbal cueing into our heads. You guys, it was like verbal cueing, verbal cueing, verbal cueing. It's of utmost importance. And I 100% agree. But at the same time, they also made us focus on finding and exploring and turning into our own unique creative teaching form. It's not something you can teach someone. It's not something you can learn as a person. I didn't learn, or someone didn't teach me to become the type of instructor I am today. It was through lots of trial and error, lots of mistakes, lots of times people staring at me in the middle of a class going, what the heck are you talking about? And I had to find my own unique way of teaching to get people to click with me and to bond with me. And that takes a lot of, you have to have guts because you have to make an ass out of yourself sometimes. Let's say it like you have to act silly sometimes to grasp your client's attention again. Because at the end of the day, like they said, you cannot copy another instructor and expect people to love you. Because at the end of the day, you guys, you know it, I know it. You can see straight through a false instructor. 100%. You can see when someone is just teaching off of a script. And that's boring and infuriating. Because especially in today's society, we all know copying someone else gets you absolutely, I wanted to swear now, but it gets you nowhere, you guys. Trust me. You have to find your own way of queuing, way of connecting with your clients. And that to me was a bit of a fun way because I got to be a bit creative. And it's almost like you're telling a story to the people, you guys. It's like you're telling your clients a story through teaching and through making them suffer at the same time. If you meet me for the first time, you will think I'm either rude or extremely shy. But it also depends on what situation you put me in. So I wouldn't say I'm an extrovert, definitely not, because my social battery depletes super fast. But I also won't say that I'm an introvert. And I know you get one in between, but I don't remember what you call them now. But I'm definitely the in-betweener, I think. In certain scenarios, I can be super confident and walk in there and own the place. And in other scenarios, you will find me in a corner hiding like a scared little mouse. But that's okay. At school especially, I was, and you don't have to believe me, please, you don't have to believe me. But the amount of time I was asked to please sit up straight and walk tall and be proud of it, I can't even count it on one hand. I was the hunched over, like literally like a tortoise crawling into my little shell. I was that girl at school. Um, Funny enough, I did, in a way, find my confidence when I had to get up and do an oral report in front of the class. For some reason, I did that, but put me into like a social scenario, then I would withdraw completely. So I think when it comes to like a more work-related scenarios, it's like a different Gillette that comes out. I can like suck it up and do it, fake it till you make it style for that moment. But social scenarios, I'm like into my little shell, and it's super funny. Um, so you can imagine that although it was super fun for me to find my own teaching style and technique, I also found it quite challenging because it's funny when I have people that I actually personally know in my classes. Um, that a bit of insecurity comes in again, but it's okay. You guys, it's okay to be insecure sometimes. You just have to take a deep breath and do it. And you can ask anyone, like especially Cedric. I'm okay teaching in front of Cedric and certain people. Um, if you put me in a class of 20 people, random strangers, okay, I can go in there and own it, you guys. You will not recognize me. It's actually, when I think about it, I laugh because the person that comes out in a class full of strangers, that's the I'm 100% sure that's the real Yulette. That's the Yulette that my true friends and family get to see and experience. That's the Yulette you want to have in your life. Um, it's super funny, and I love that Yulette. And I laugh about it now because when I look, I can just imagine looking at myself from the outside like a fly on the wall in a social setting where I'm like shy, withdrawn, you let, and then look at myself in a class full of strangers and I'm this bubbly butterfly exploding and like birthing from her cocoon. It's so funny. My confidence level literally goes from, and obviously I have a lot of butterflies and nerves. Don't get me wrong, you guys. Before I have to go into a class with lots of strangers, I am super nervous, like insanely nervous. But the moment I say that first sentence of what we have to do, start my queuing, confidence level goes from 0 to 1,000 in zero point 0.2 seconds. it's insane. And at the end of the day, like Vin says, your voice is your greatest tool. Meaning, it highlights the pivotal role of your voice, highlights the pivotal role of communication, effective communication at the end of the day. I literally become a comedian, kind, caring, drill sergeant, and foghorn all in one when I teach you guys. All of that is me in one. It's like this special personality I develop. My voice has its own personality when I teach, and I absolutely love it. I don't know how I found it or how it happened. I think I never in my wildest dreams did I think I would ever become a Pilates instructor. I was always set on being a flight attendant. And in case you didn't know, I actually did fly a bit as a flight attendant for about a year, just over a year. And again, also very confident in that setting, but it was definitely not something I could see myself do long term. And that's where I don't know how I discovered Pilates either, it just crossed my path, but I believe God has a plan for all of us and He put it in my life. And it's definitely where I'm meant to be because I flourish when I teach. And that is something that I pray a lot of people discover and find in their careers because if you are not happy in your work, I think it's just a terrible thing. It eats you alive. And I mean, not to float my own boat as well, but I'm pretty sure my personality, that drill sergeant foghorn comedian all in one person that people experience in my classes, that's the reason my clients come back for my classes. Because I, and if you don't come back to my classes, it's your loss. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm joking. But I bring a sense of fun, fire, and just it's like a different world you step in with my classes and variety. Variety is key, you guys. I get bored very quickly, so I also jazz it up. And it brings me pure joy when I see clients enjoy my class. And at the end of the day, I'm sure great communication happens, like Vin says, when you're able to move people with your music. Now, if your voice is your instrument, your voice and how you speak is the music. And I definitely, no pun intended, I physically let people move with my voice because if I don't say anything, no one will know what to do next. So this is like perfect for me. I'm also pretty sure that all great instructors, we can be actors because we have to really turn our personalities up a level without obviously scaring the clients away. We want you to come back to our classes at the end of the day. Um, and it's so true because I know it's sometimes I say stuff in a class and I'm like cringe a little bit at myself inside. My inner voice is like, oh my goodness, Johlet, that is so cringe. People love it. So what do I care at the end of the day? If you love my class, keep coming back. So let's do a little practice. I want you guys to say the following thing without any emotion. Just dull, boring, same tone of voice. So feet on the floor, fist distance apart, chin to chest, curl it down, use your abdominals and roll back up. Have you tried it? Okay, now let's add some of that pizzazz and flavor to it. Okay, you guys, come on. Let's place our feet on the floor, fist distance apart. Weight even. Let's draw that chin to the chest. Now curl it down. Feel that spine move as you roll it down. Come on, come on. At the bottom, keep the tummy switched on. Use those abdominals. Come on, you guys. More tummy, more tummy. Now use the abdominals to roll yourself back up, one vertebra at a time, stacking yourself beautifully tall. And well done. You see the difference? What a difference that makes. Now try it. Come on, make it your own, you guys. I added a lot of extra info in there, but make it your own. I'm waiting. So much better, eh? Don't you just want to sign up for one of my classes now? I know I want to. And at the end of the day, also, you guys, if my teaching technique is not for you and you don't like the extra theatrical voices and movements that I do, no offense whatsoever, I don't mind. It's absolutely fine. I've noticed at the end of the day, our vocal energy transfers to our clients. It can either put them in a stress mode, it can calm them, it can fire them up, and it can make them feel safe. So you have to use your voice also by reading the room. If you have a very wired up stressed group of people in front of you, screaming at them is not going to make the situation better. You have to go down to their level. You have to play with your voice and meet them where they are at. And another interesting that I've noticed with me when I teach, if I had a crappy night of sleep, my clients can immediately pick it up through my sense of teaching. I'm not mean or grumpy, not at all. I'm not mopey, foggy, and groggy, because you can't be. People don't pay for that. I'm still full of energy, full of confidence, full of that happy me. But it's like I add a little bit fuel to the fire with the moves, and I always make them suffer a little bit more, but with a smile on my face. And they always notice that, and they always ask me, did you have a crap night of sleep? Because today's class was killing. So another thing, I have come to a point where even I choose my classes, whether I do online or in person, according to the instructor. If you lose my interest within the first 5 minutes of doing your class, I will definitely not be back for your class. And a pet peeve of mine, obviously this doesn't count for online classes, more like pre-recorded stuff, but a pet peeve of mine for a live online class or a live in-person class is if you do that whole class with me. Because in my brain, I'm like, how do you know if I'm doing everything you're telling me correctly? Because you cannot see my feet, you cannot see my shoulders, you cannot see my ribs, you cannot see my body. You need to be walking around and hovering over your clients at the end of the day to make sure they are perfectly positioned. I think a little bit of OCD is great when you teach as a Pilates instructor. That's all I'm saying. But that's also my personal opinion. If you don't mind the people doing the class with you, no issue at all whatsoever. The added bonus is the boost of ego and confidence you get when your clients hype you up. I often hear how my cueing really helped people find their muscles much easier, or that they are looking at also signing up to do Pilates courses and become a Pilates instructor, and they want to know where I studied because they love my way of teaching. Or when they come to me, the best one is when they come to me after the class and say, why are you such a mean instructor? But with all their teeth showing in the biggest smile ever. And the best one for me is I was teaching at a place the other day, and I got a message through the team saying to me that I had a lady in my class and they got a message she wants to do a private with me because the message reads, there's a very good Pilates teacher from SA and we would like to book her for a private. And stuff like that just makes my day. It truly does. And then there's stuff that make me realize that I'm succeeding in my career and that I'm doing this because I'm making a difference. A lot of the times I feel like I don't have the amount of followers, I don't have the millions in the bank, so I must be failing at what I'm doing. But when I think back at all the stuff that people, the feedback I get and what people say to me, I realize I am succeeding. And it also made me realize how our voice can quickly trigger certain reactions from people. And it has a profound emotional impact on others if not used correctly. For example, I'm Afrikaans, and we are quite loud when we come together, my family and friends, when we speak Afrikaans. And a lot of the times, a lot of external people that don't speak Afrikaans will literally come to us and say, why are you guys fighting with each other? What's going on? What's happening? We're not fighting. We are literally telling each other our secrets and talking about the cute things our kids did that morning. But it's just the way we speak. Or like when Cedric asks me a question and I answer him and he goes, why are you shouting at me? I'm like, I'm not shouting at you. That's my inside voice. That's my voice. You guys, at the end of the day, your voice is one of the most complex instruments in the world. Thank you, Vin. I love that. And like anything in the world, with highs come lows. I've definitely found over the years that if I push myself with too many classes, I will for sure burn out. And it's happened often. I can feel it. It's all your energy gets put into that 1 hour of teaching. You strain and drain your instrument, your voice. It's an hour of non-stop talking. Personality is at next level, hyped up mode. It drains your battery very quickly. Imagine putting your toaster, your oven, your hair straightener, your hair dryer, everything into one plug on a little solar powered battery. It's going to go floop very quickly. So it's like any other musician or singer, you guys. You have to rest your voice, service your instrument, or it will take strain and it will not perform to its full potential.